everyone. How are you? This is Glenda Dawson, and we're
I
watching Glenda's
sorry.
Dragon's
I'm gonna
Den.
have to just go down for a minute, okay? I'm
Okay,
sorry.
go
I just gotta
ahead.
go down.
He. See, we are having
That's
internet problems even before we started, and now, of course, but that's okay.
Glenda. It's because we're so electric. Look at
And
your
it's
hat
just,
lit up
and
and
it's just,
beautiful.
just us.
I
You
have an
notice?
electric fireplace in the background. We're
And
just
it's
very
hot. Yeah,
electric, is what it
like,
is.
yes.
The internet just can't handle how awesome we are. And
No,
Merry Christmas,
exactly.
to
And
everyone
you
out
notice how we got rid of everybody else?
there. Zap!
Whoops.
Whoosh! There they
Welcome,
went.
everyone. This is Glenda's Dragon's Den, and it's a Christmas special. We decided today to just join you guys, have fun, chat, maybe bring some traditions of Christmas
Yes.
or the holidays, that
Glenda,
kind of thing. Yes, honey.
tell me some Santa lore. Tell me, like, I was looking up some videos today about Santa and where some of the Santa things may have come from,
Hmm.
like the red cap mushrooms with the white dots, right?
Right, right.
So, like, I have a little bit of, oh, there he is. There's Brian John.
Sorry, guys.
Brian John.
Sorry.
Happy Christmas, Merry Holidays, whatever is the thing that
Well,
you celebrate.
it was till about 30 seconds ago.
Oh,
I just found out my good friend just died.
oh, I'm sorry.
So sorry,
I'm
Brian
so
John.
sorry, Brian.
Listen,
Yeah.
this is a moment where we get to have some perspective that
Mm-hmm.
we want to celebrate life,
Yes.
right? Like, that's some hard news to get. But we got to remember that our family and our peeps are still with us always.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Brian John?
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
well,
some
I knew he was close.
Mm-hmm.
About 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, I got a message from my friend because his wife messaged my friend and said Ron was diagnosed with cancer.
Mm-hmm.
About 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, he was
Mhm.
given 2 to 4 weeks to live,
Mm-hmm.
and he surpassed the 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
He went into hospice on Saturday,
Mhm.
which I don't know if you know what hospice is.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I used to
I was
do
going to say, I
hospice.
used to be a CNA with,
Yeah.
not
So
next.
Mm-hmm.
he was the reason I know him is because we worked together probably about 10 years ago, 12 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and we just remained friends. Now he is a lot older.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he just turned 82.
Mm-hmm.
That's a long life,
Yes.
a rich life in our human linear terms, I suppose.
I was going down to see him tomorrow, actually.
Well, you can still see him.
You can
You,
still see him, Brian
especially
John.
you.
I was going to
All
say,
of
there's
us.
Glenda, all of us, all the
Uh,
connectivity that we have and all of the paranormal investigations we do. We could,
We could
ask him to
definitely
bippity
see.
pop in. And
Yeah.
he would probably be like, Brian John, listen, it's Christmas and I'm feeling good where I am now.
Yeah.
Things are great. I have no more worries. I have no more pain. I love my family. I love seeing how much they love me. That is something that actually one time, I can't remember who I was listening to. It may have been someone who was channeling and saying essentially that your loved ones, when you grieve them, they do just feel how much you love them from where they are. Right. So, like,
Yeah.
you have to think of that a little bit, that your friend is feeling how much you love and appreciate him.
Mhm.
Just because you do have the grieving feelings, it just shows how much you care. So you feel good about that where he is now, he knows that you're just sending him love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they told you at this moment, so you can now share this story with us, which brings us to the point of we should never take any second of our life for granted. And get rid of the drama when you need to, get rid of the negativity when you need to. And sometimes we just have to shed skin, shed people, shed situations, so we can enjoy the best life that we can. Because, yeah, we keep coming back, but we don't keep coming back as the same person. We have a
Oh dear.
different perspective every time.
Enjoy this perspective that you have now and get
Right?
the richest, fullest version of it that you can.
Exactly.
Because sometimes you live to 82 and sometimes you don't.
Hmm.
Good for y'all that
And,
do.
and dear Lord, if it's like my great aunt, she lived to 126. The other one
Woo!
lived to
Excuse me.
128. Yeah, I know.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry. Pause. What
of course.
in what year did they pass then? Can I ask this question?
Sure. In
That's some
70, no, 68 and 67. 67, 68. I
so you
remember, you know why I remember so well? Because I had to go in a train, a cold train, to go from my town to their town. And that experience, that was the first time I've ever been on a train. So I definitely remember that. And when I got there, it's like a month before, basically, I saw one of them. And what they told me was she was fine until the very end. Her body just gave up at that age. So,
well, but 126 and 128
yeah,
in the 60s.
yeah,
That's impressive, Glenda. That's
no.
Do you
But
have their
they
magic cookbook, their spell books, their whatever it was they were doing or using? Do you still have these things?
actually
Can we get
do.
some of the
I found it and I still do.
Glenda?
Yeah.
How are you hiding such a wonderful little treasure trove from the world? You've got little Glenda,
Uh,
girl, we got to have
uh,
some conversation. Why are we not like sitting with your cookbooks and talking to like the ladies who lived to 120 something
well, obviously they
in
didn't
the
use
time that
processed
they
food.
lived
They
through?
they grew their own stuff and they
True.
ate everything. They ate everything. There wasn't anything that they would stop eating. So,
They didn't
but
have they didn't have limiting belief structures in their minds about foods
exactly.
being dangerous for them. They just enjoyed them.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
just enjoyed their lives in every moment,
But
and that's how
let's
you
face it.
live.
Let's face it. In those times, you did a lot more. You didn't have a washer and dryer. You did everything by hand. So you
It's
trucked
true.
your laundry to wherever, the river, wherever it was.
Beating your clothes
Yeah,
on the
goes and
rocks.
dry.
Yep.
Yeah, the
Hmm.
carpets, you put them outside and you beat them. You didn't have any vacuum. So, you
But
were
you
always
also
doing
didn't have
exercise.
right. You didn't have to go to the gym, so
Right,
there's that.
exactly. There's that. So, yeah, yeah.
So now,
That's,
Glenda, here's while I try to get this fuzz out of my hair. Here we go. Now,
yeah, we're both
what
collecting.
we're both collecting fuzz. That's okay. That's part of the Santa hat.
Uh-huh.
What do you call that? Working hazard,
You work, yeah,
occupational hazard,
exactly.
right?
There you
Of
go.
being a Santa elf
Occupation.
is that you
Yeah,
get fuzzes in
yeah,
your hair.
yeah, exactly.
So here's how we're gonna. I do want to, Brian John. We're gonna
Yeah.
bring you into a celebration mood somehow, some way, because I'm just determined to. So
Yeah.
we're gonna talk about some Santa lore because
Mm,
Glenda has some.
yes. Well, not exactly Santa. I'm going to bring the traditions of like Cuba. All
Oh,
right.
okay. This
Yes.
is. Talk to me
Well,
about this.
on the 24th, you always had the big meal. If you were very religious, you went to midnight mass, you came back and you continue eating and drinking. And then on the
Just
25th,
staying up all night to party.
you
I
know
love
what?
it.
You started with that roast pork and you should continue the whole night. I mean, you had a whole pork. You had to
You
do
did have
something.
a whole pig, and you got
Yeah,
to eat all that because at the time, right?
yes,
And it like they
exactly.
didn't have refrigeration. You are in
No,
Cuba.
so
That
right,
stuff's not gonna last. You better eat it.
exactly, exactly.
Okay,
So,
valid. I'm with you.
and then of course, before communism and all that, they used to have to go out on the streets on the 25th and just have like parades. Every single street was full of people celebrating. the 25th, making noise, singing, dancing, and of
I
course
love it.
more drinking, more eating, the
More
whole
drinking and
thing.
more, of course, yes.
It's like
Partying, indulging. I love it.
exactly. And then the kids did not get their presents until January 6th, which is the Three Kings Day. That's when
Okay,
there wasn't
this is
Santa.
very different.
Yes, there is no Santa, or there wasn't. I don't know about now, but yes, back then
Okay,
there was
so
no Santa.
what do you do between the 24th, 25th time and the present opening time? Then what is there like?
Where there is no present opening time. The 6th is when the Three Kings during the night come from the 5th to the 6th. During that nighttime, like if it was Santa, come and deliver presents. And they
Right,
usually
because of
would
the
put it right. They would usually put it in like a living room
okay.
while all the kids slept.
So still kind of a little bit the
It
Santa
is,
Claus sort of
yeah.
lore, a little.
Well, that actually, most of those stories actually started when there were towns that were very poor, and whether they were priests or um, people who believed that everybody, the kids felt bad for the kids, and they had a lot of money, they would start building all these toys and all these things, and they would deliver them, and that's how it started.
Well,
So
isn't
it's
that a very
kind of
different sort of like now that's the movie they should be writing for like the holidays, that it's not a bunch of magical elves, it's a bunch of people who want kids to have toys that just get
right.
together and make them all and pretend to be Santa and make magic. I think
Right.
I love that. Why
Right,
is
but
that
they
there has
can't
to
do
be a
that.
movie like that somewhere?
You can't do that and break the magic for the kids. The whole
No,
thing
not
is
for the
about
kids, but just to like
for the
I
grown-ups.
love the for the grown-ups. Like let's not nothing against
Grown-ups still
Amazon.
need
Obviously,
magic.
it's can we need Amazon because you could that's how you get all your presents now. That's where they come from.
Yes, which
There are
by
no
the
elves.
way,
There's just
uh,
Jeff
the
Bezos and
the last present for my granddaughter came for the one granddaughter, the one here, came at 6 p.m. last night. Talk about
and oh, I know, right? But someone was still delivering it at 6 p.m. last night, right? So like that person was out being Santa. And thank you for your service, that you were out on a Christmas Eve
Amazon,
night delivering packages for Amazon. Thank you to all of you out there who did that, delivering smiles and happiness for people last minute because some of us have ADHD and we can't plan ahead.
No, I planned ahead. They just kept delaying the delivery.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of mail going around right now. They're pretty busy.
I know.
So Matt, are you doing? I see Matt over there was doing some history research. What do you got, Matt? Do you have some stories too about?
By the way, for those who don't know who Matt is the person behind the curtain who is always there, thankfully, every Wednesday night, making sure that everything goes out where it's supposed to go, and we don't have
Santa. He
That's
only shows
it.
up on Christmas.
There you go.
The rest of the time, you don't get to see him. He's in the background.
He's got the beard and all that. You see, and it's kind of starting. It's starting to turn black again. So and then he'll go gray. Right, like Christmas Eve. Again. So.
There you go. See, there we go. We've just solved it, kids. Santa's here. Santa is chilling in the States. Santa's hanging out in the US of A, just so you know. There he is.
Yeah, it's a lot of stress.
It's a lot of stress. I'm sure it was. Like getting to all the kids all over the whole wide world in one night with that magic sleigh. I mean, I can't believe you have the energy to run a live stream right now and be
I know.
I'm tripping over those toys
there
all the
you
time.
go. It's like terrible. It's terrible.
Oh my Lord, guys. This is a thought I've never had, but like, how often is Santa stepping on Legos, y'all?
Oh, we really need to. That's
got to be some steel-toed boots and stuff that he's got to be wearing at all times, right? Like you can't be taking those boots off, Santa, because you will step on toys, and it's gonna be painful.
Oh yeah, definitely. I can just imagine. That's why I only request Santa to bring the big big Lego.
The big ones
big
that
ones.
that you
They
end
still
up
hurt.
kicking before you.
They
Well,
still
but you-
hurt, but you end up kicking before you actually step on it. You know, it's like
I think
See, now-
I think most parents are aware that before they go to bed, their kids have to clean up so Santa doesn't step on that stuff.
yeah.
Well, is
Yeah.
it the kids cleaning it up, or is it mom and dad cleaning it up so that
It's,
Santa
it's
doesn't
probably a
have
little
to?
bit of both.
Little bit of both. See,
Yeah.
here's a fun little conversation though. What are the occupational hazards that we haven't thought about of being Santa or the elves or the reindeer for that matter?
Getting
I
burned
mean-
in
No on the roof.
fireplace, falling off a roof.
Yeah.
Well,
Tim
yes,
Allen, like Tim Allen and Santa Claus.
Yeah,
Right,
burning-
exactly.
burning in a fireplace. You know, you come down.
Bad milk.
Like
Bad milk.
Bad
oh,
milk.
Ah, dear Lord, that
Brian
would be
John.
terrible. He has
I
to
had
make a
not
pit
even
stop real fast.
I was gonna say, like, okay, Santa's got to use your bathroom now for just a hot second. You guys
I think
smell that
I-
milk before you leave it out.
I think the obvious one, diabetes.
Yeah.
That
But why?
also
What would be the
valid.
concern about diabetics?
Well,
I mean,
no, 'cause Santa-
Like, what is Santa's diet? We're talking about occupational hazards. I mean, let's think about it for a
yeah,
second.
Santa's had like triple bypass by now. Like
Yeah,
8 times over.
I know.
I mean,
His insurance is through the roof.
Well, I think
that's
it's pretty
why
safe.
that's
I
why
think
he
if-
needs help from
I-
Bezos
You can't-
and
you
the
can't-
Amazon.
I think it's pretty safe to say whatever happens to Santa, there's another Santa to replace him.
Well, apparently that's how it works. So like
Yeah.
every time one
Yeah.
Santa like has the just bops off because like one too many bad milks and too many
Right.
cookies.
You want to
Yeah.
hear an
Here comes
interesting?
another one.
You want to hear an interesting, useless piece of information
Yes,
Sure.
that you might
always.
not know,
Go
or you
ahead.
might know. Do you know where the red and white and the jolly fat man came from?
Oh well, this is a conversation that like tell me
Do you
tell
know-
me your
Yeah.
Do you
Good
know
one
who
that you
started
know.
that?
Go ahead. Go ahead. tell us.
Coca-Cola started that.
okay, but there is also I was just looking it up today. Is it in
It was
Siberia?
the man. It was the man in the red and white suit, and he was
Yeah.
fat and jolly. Coca-Cola is the one that started that. There's
Well, they
always been a
commercialized
Santa. There's always been a Santa, but years and years and years ago, it was never referred to as a fat man in a red and white suit.
Right.
Right.
Coca-Cola
Some
is
of
the
it
one that
though
brought
is
that
It was
out.
actually green at some point. I remember
Yeah.
that.
well, but that's where the red and the green comes from
Right.
this other again lore for can't remember the location, y'all. Matt, where are you at with the research times real time? He's usually behind the curtain and doesn't have to like do multiple things at once.
I did send a link in chat if
For the
or
history.
in private
Okay.
private chat.
Okay.
It's the exact same thing with Valentine's Day. I know we're getting off topic there, but the Valentine's Day.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I wrote a
the-
whole
the Valentine's
article
Day
about it.
is Valentine's Day and hearts and all that stuff
Mhm.
started with jewelry stores,
Yes.
not with because
St.
the history of
Valentine.
Valentine's is actually very bad.
Right. St. Valentine.
It had nothing
Yeah.
to do with love.
No.
And but jewelry stores are the one, and I can't remember which jewelry store it was that started it. I think it was Burke's.
But let's
actually,
face
that
it,
started it.
that's taking an opportunity and taking it and running with it.
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, nobody commercializes holidays better than
I think it was
America.
Burke's.
Like,
Was it
we're-
Burke's? Might have been Tiffany's.
I think it was
Well,
probably
either
taking-
way.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but
either way, again,
Yeah.
there's the Amanita muscaria mushrooms, the red cap mushrooms with the red and the white, like Mario Brothers, right? There's also the lore of like the shamans that used to go pluck those mushrooms from under pine trees. That's where you
Yeah.
get the red and the green.
Mhm.
And the shamans would like go around to like people's huts or their houses would be like covered up with snow because is it Siberia, Matt? What's the country that I'm looking for? But so he would drop them down the chimney, right? So it's essentially delivering plant medicines to people during the winter time when they all probably needed a little pick me up because it's dark and it's cold. And don't we all kind of, except for Matt, know how that feels because we're in the winter sauce up
and
north.
and I also think
Uh-huh.
when it comes to Santa's helpers, his elves,
Uh-huh.
they didn't come around till the mid 70s, late 70s, or early 70s. Sometime in the 70s, The elves.
Where
came
did
around.
where did the elves come from, Matt? When did those ones come around?
I think it was early 70s that's when elves started, his little helpers. And then
Okay.
eventually
Independent little helpers.
they turned into elves.
Well, it was
Yeah.
in Germany, a Norse mythology that was called Hidden Folk or Alfar, Alfar, if I remember correctly. And that is how they ended up with the word elf. And it was little magical little beings, hidden folks in Norse
So the elves started in Germany?
in Germany. Yes,
Interesting.
yes.
Well, see, now
Well,
that's just a
Let's
whole
do some
fun
fact
little like.
checking on that, Matt. Let's do some fact checking on that.
We want some fact check.
Just like Facebook
No,
does.
but
They fact check
I
everything.
love it because it's kind of attached a little bit to like, it makes me think of the Fae in like, you know, Scotland, Ireland, that kind
Right.
of thing, right?
Exactly.
Like how you have a
Mhm.
lot of like fairy lore that comes from
Mhm.
there that's kind of similar, right? That evolved into things that
Although
we
fairies are real.
commercialized.
Fairies are real.
Fairies
I'm
are
on the
real.
fence
Hi,
about
hello,
that.
I'm right here.
I'm on the fence about
No,
fairies.
excuse me, you know one. Hi.
Yeah.
Who?
Hi, right here.
Glenn-
I'm sitting right here.
Glenda was
You're not-
correct.
Pixie right here. Ooh.
Glenda was correct about the elf origin.
When did that
Alfar.
start? The 70s, right?
When did that start?
Norse? No.
I think it was
that's
The
72.
70s?
72, I think it was.
It was the 70s, but in the 1800s.
And
I
the
was gonna say,
Yeah,
like,
Christmas.
yeah,
well, no,
Germany.
because Santa didn't really start coming around till the I believe the 20s or 30s.
Yeah, I do.
The existence of Santa, and then the fat jolly man in a white suit was, I think,
See, this is why we
early
need to.
50s. I think it was
This is why we
54
need to
actually.
talk to
For the
Glenda.
Santa, for the fat
This
man
is
in the white suit or a red suit. I think it was 54.
No, but this is why
when
we
that
need to talk to
happened.
Glenda's aunts. We got to get the Ouija board out and talk to Glenda's aunts. They would remember. Because no, Glenda, come on. This is why we got to talk to them.
By the way, I what was the name? Santa. It was a Saint Nicholas.
Yeah, it wasn't Santa Claus. It was Saint
No,
Nick.
Saint Nicholas. Saint
Yeah,
Nicholas, and
was
it
Saint Nick.
started 200, 300 AD. That far back. That story started
But
back.
that was Saint Nick, though. Saint
Saint
Nick.
Nick. Saint Nick.
Saint Nick or
Which
Saint
used to
Nicholas.
be more.
But Santa Claus, the actual name of Santa
Yeah.
Claus didn't come out till the 50s.
Yeah,
I believe
so.
it was 54, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Somewhere in
The
the
other-
50s.
yeah,
Somewhere
the other one
somewhere
was
around
the
there.
one that used to get dressed in green,
Yeah.
in black, and basically whatever color they had, for whatever region. That's why I think the red is what was started here.
But even going far back, as you said, it had nothing to do with presents. There was no presents that he was giving out. I think that
Yes.
started in the mid 50s, or maybe even a little bit later than that.
Well,
about
he
the
used to give,
and that was all
to-
because of commercial,
right.
and stores, wanting to sell their products.
I think
But I
he
think
was
that
just-
came out in this, yeah.
Yeah, I think
mean,
at
Bryan
that point he
John.
was just giving to.
Don't
like,
forget,
the
don't forget,
sick
it's
and
also
stuff like
for
that.
Hallmark. It's
Yeah.
also for Hallmark to sell cards and make movies. Don't
Mhm.
forget.
Yeah, same thing with Valentine's Day.
Mhm.
Don't forget those things. They're highly important.
Hey,
Yeah,
I know.
and again,
I
I think Hallmark has something to do with it as well. When it comes to, well, definitely
Like
with
the marketing?
Valentine's Day.
The
Valentine's
marketing.
Day came with Hallmark.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. It's
Mhm.
it's interesting how
Matt,
interesting
I
how
can't-
things evolve. You know what I mean?
Matt's
And,
got it here. The
for-
name Santa evolved from Nick's Dutch nickname Sinterklaas, a shortened
1804.
form of Sint Nicholas, Dutch for Saint Nicholas. In 1804, John Pintard, a member of the New York Historical Society, distributed woodcuts of Saint Nicholas at the society's what's the next bit that's cut off? I was gonna say at the society's parties. Obviously, must be. I love
Mhm.
this. Aren't we clever little humans that we will just find any way to like make the wintertime more tolerable?
Yes.
Yay us. Their
All
annual
the
meeting.
annual meeting. Yep. All of the Christmas decorations, all that stuff was just to
Commercial.
brighten us. Commercial, but
Commercial.
it's to, to brighten us because let's face it, oof,
You do
December
need a
will
little,
be
I mean, right? We need
like
some
January.
bright
We
red
don't
and
have
some
any.
green.
Yeah, January. There's no real big holiday, and it's boring.
Well, I think the biggest thing that people have problems with when it comes to Christmas now
Uh-huh.
is it has nothing to do with the actual meaning of Christmas and what it
Right.
means. It's all commercial.
Wait,
Right.
it's not
And
about gifts and
it's not about it, it's all
Cindy
commercialized.
Lou,
It's about,
like,
who has the best present, how many presents the kids are going to get, and
Yeah.
which is fine. And one problem I have, and I've always had, and you hear this a lot, we do Christmas for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a problem with that, but that's maybe for another show.
well,
But
I don't know. Is Christmas
n-
always for I think there's plenty
it's
of
always
adults who
for.
get
They
into it
always
and
say,
love
"Oh,
it.
Christmas is for the kids." For the kids. Well, this is what I always hear. You might not hear that, but I always hear Christmas is always for the
Christmas
kids.
is for the
And,
kids like a
you know,
1-year-old's birthday is for the 1-year-old. No, it
Mm.
isn't.
Yeah.
Like, come on now. Stop that. It's for the adults to have fun, and we say it's for the kids so that we can still feel like kids ourselves. Like,
And
we
a lot,
love all of the decorations and the music and the
I do.
snacks and the
So,
dancing and the
Halloween?
singing.
Yeah, I'm not
yeah,
really.
I
Halloween,
love.
Yeah, I'm not
yes,
really into it.
Halloween.
I'm not really
Oh.
into it, to be honest.
I
No,
love
am.
Halloween. I get so excited
Well, no, I'm
on
not
Halloween.
really into Christmas. I'm not big on the Christmas
Oh.
thing.
Okay.
Even though I do celebrate it, like I
Right.
went to my sister's. I went to my sister's on Sunday, and we celebrated on Sunday. So really here was very, very quiet, and but
Can you say
good
bah
evening,
humbug?
all. Merry Christmas from Richmond
You
Hill.
can say
Richmond Hill, which is just right up the street from me.
California?
Or is that California?
Canada.
Richmond Hill, California, or Canada?
Canada. Mark, you're in Canada, aren't you?
I
Mark
believe
Davis.
that's Canada.
Yeah, I
So
believe
And
he's
did
right
you
up
get
there,
visited
like
by
I'm
Santa?
Richmond Hill is right
Everyone.
up the street from me.
Tell us what Santa brought you, everyone. We'd love to know.
Oh,
What did Santa bring you? Some
Well,
fun, awesome
I
stuff.
haven't seen, like, I saw my son on Sunday, and we haven't exchanged anything yet. So I will see him this weekend. He's spending with his my ex-wife and her family today, and he's going to his girlfriend's tomorrow. So I will see him this weekend. But with my sister and my family and stuff like that, it was gift cards. I got these.
Looks
Absolutely,
nice.
just
Just
north
find
of
you on a
Toronto.
shopping spree.
There you go. So, it's I forget what they're called. Jesus, my mind's been shot the last couple of weeks. I don't know why.
oh,
But,
just the last couple
you
of weeks,
can,
huh?
yeah.
Just
So
there we
know
go,
the stuff that
Glenda.
you can put, those jars where you can put oats and like
Right.
overnight oats and stuff like
Yeah.
those. I got a set of
Oh,
those
okay.
for my
nice.
sister, which
Nice.
I've already been using.
Good.
I got Amazon stuff, gift card.
It's nice when
yeah,
people send
so-
you on a shopping spree. That's I think it's nice when people.
I gave
do
gift
that.
cards. I gave gift cards to everyone. I think
Sometimes
at
you
the
don't
end
know
of the
what they
day,
mean.
I think so many times we go out there and get a present and you give it to them. They go, "Wow, that's really nice. I needed that," and then it goes in a shelf somewhere. And
It goes on.
so
Well,
this,
see, that's why I always
so
like
this
making
way-
gifts for people
yeah.
Well-
So this way, I give gift cards and they can go
Mhm.
out and disappoint
and
themselves.
get whatever they disappoint themselves, Brian John.
Wow.
They're
Disappoint
good.
themselves and
Let
go
me
out and
get
purchase
something I want
something.
to
And go, you know
return
what?
myself.
I'm not sure if I really wanted that.
There you go.
Well, I said to my kids I didn't want anything this year
Yeah.
because I wanted to concentrate on the real kids. So
The
What are the
little
real
ones.
kids?
the real kids,
The
my
little
grandkids, the
My
grandkids.
grandkids.
Because if I got to worry about 8 adults,
Yeah.
That's a lot.
and then the grandkids, and
What I think a lot of families are doing now, and this is something that I did,
yeah,
not necessarily, probably after once I hit 20, 21, this started happening a lot in our family, which I appreciated is you put everybody's name in a hat and you pick somebody's name and you give
Oh,
them
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think we're going to do
Like
for
a
next
Secret
year.
Santa.
Like
yeah,
a
Secret Santa. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we did that a lot as we got older,
Yeah.
because as you get older,
Older,
the family expands.
and
And in your case, Glenda, it's really expanding.
Yeah.
And
Glenda's growing the whole population over there.
so
Well
think,
done, you.
I think at the end of the day, I think Secret Santa is
Holding
really
it up.
good thing to do, because let's be honest, I think a lot of people go through this. We all go through it, and we've all been through it. Is just a couple of months before Christmas is happening, you start thinking about what you're going to get everybody. And then it becomes very, very stressful. And it really, at the end of the day, it should be something enjoyable,
right,
not
exactly.
necessarily stressful. And it does get stressful, especially if you have to buy for 15 people.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
Well, that's
that is
why I always
stressful.
loved like making things. Like I would knit hats and scarves and different stuff for people, because like that was my, I haven't like done it for a little while because everybody was kind of getting enough hats and scarves, which is fine, which is cool. But it's you put more thought. Right, because it's like you could go buy anything that you want. I'm gonna make you something. Because then I spent all that time putting all that energy into that for you, because I thought you should have it, right? And it's a little bit more.
It was funny in the last month in my condo building, that every time I take Max downstairs and out for a walk, the front desk is covered in boxes from Amazon. Like it's just boxes and boxes and boxes, and it's like
I kind of, I'm
Amazon
visiting
is doing
family right now.
extremely well.
Well, they are, but like I'm kind of glad that I'm missing that in my apartment building right now, because it was starting before I left to get pretty unruly in there, and I was like, I mean, like, that's how you do.
And some packets were like absolutely huge.
Yeah,
like my sister gave her boyfriend. And he came in the room with this huge box. Like it was massive. And I go, what is that? And what is that? So he opened it. It was a snowblower. It's like,
I love it.
God, a snowblower. And it's just
brought
like,
it into the house. That's
it was incredible. And
now
like she said, you're gonna have to move the table over a little bit. Okay, what's good? What's happening here? And he comes in with this huge box, and he's like struggling to bring it in. And is it not something that maybe you could have put at the front door, and then we could have all come there and open it, and stuff like that? But
no, see, this is what I want to see now. I want to see some kind of show where they're giving like real big, like giving away tractors to farmers and stuff like that as gifts. Just big tractors with bows on them. I love it. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, it was, and with my situation when it comes to Christmas, it's a little bit different, because for people that don't know me, about 25, 26 years ago, it's got to be about 25 years ago, I was adopted, and I was adopted when I was about 6 months old. And so when I was about 28, 29, I went looking for my real mother. And maybe I might have been 31 when this happened. Anyhow, when I got out of the army, and went to college and stuff like that. And then after that, I didn't do what I wanted to do, what I was doing in college. So I ended up becoming a private investigator, and I was a private investigator for 6 years. And so I left the field because of certain things happening to me. I won't get into that, but probably about 5 or 6 years later, because I had the what's the word I'm looking for? Because not necessarily the experience, because I had people that I knew, people in the investigative area, in investigations. I reached out to a former boss and asked him if he could search for my mother, and he said, sure, no problem. Literally 2 days later, he called me. He said, I found her.
Wow.
So
good at his job. You like that.
So Well, because of my mother's maiden name is such an unusual last name, it wasn't difficult because anybody had that name in Canada, I was related to. So it was
There
not
you go.
difficult. But the interesting thing is nobody really knew in the family that my mother was pregnant. And there were only a few people in the family that knew. And obviously close siblings, parents, and a cousin that unfortunately I believe is sick. But she was the one that my boss spoke to her and reached out to my mother. And my mother was thrilled. My half sisters were thrilled because my mother told my sisters they didn't know that they had a brother. So my sisters found out they had a brother or half brother, and they were completely thrilled. So long story short, that's where I was. I was with my biological family on Sunday.
Oh,
And,
nice.
So with my
Well, I mean, that's
biological
really
mother and
cool
stuff like
that they are excited about it and
Right.
excited about the.
Yeah,
It's not always the case.
Unfortunately, my adopted family, I haven't spoken to them very much in the last 24, 25 years. My parents were not thrilled that I went looking for her and I had a relationship with her. So basically, it was ultimatum. Either you don't associate with her or you lose us.
Wow.
And I basically said, well, I'm not choosing. And they said goodbye. In a letter, my mother gave. Yeah.
Wow.
And so when I disappeared from that family, unfortunately, the story started happening. And my parents really never put a stop to those stories. And the speculation, the wondering what happened, and everything was my fault. And
well, that's people who can't cope already aren't going to say very nice things when they
So again, like
that's
I said,
unfortunate, Bryan John. But you know what? Look, it's nice that you still have these other family who are thrilled to have you over for the holidays, right?
For sure.
Sometimes you just got to go where you're appreciated, and not everyone.
And like I said, sometimes you got to shed that negativity.
And I think Glenda, no, I think I've told this story to Glenda before. And I'm pretty sure I've told you this story privately over while we were talking through Messenger. But yeah, it's an unfortunate thing. My adopted mother passed away about 7 years ago. And so I was able to see her for the last couple of months of her life, or the last month of her life. So I spent a lot of time with her in the hospital. Unfortunately, she was suffering from dementia, and which is an absolute terrible disease, and just terrible what it does to you. But at that point, I thought everything was going to on the right track back and getting involved with the family. Once my mother passed away, and went back to what it normally was, and that's not talking to me anymore. But anyways, seeing my biological mother and her husband and my two half sisters is always every year. For the last several years, so it's always been a lot of fun. And my sister, one of my sisters lives in England, and she lives in.
So we need to go over to England and visit her and visit Rosie.
And I did when I went there 2 years ago. I spent a couple of weeks with her. And Lex did as well. Like he stayed over as well.
Okay, so we all need to go over to England and hang out, and check out all the places that Emma and Rosie are hitting up.
You'd love
my sister. Let's all go.
Lee's an incredible woman, and she has a beautiful daughter, and Audrey, and it's different. It's different over there, and. But so when I was there a couple of years ago
over there.
Happy Christmas, huh?
Happy Christmas. They say the Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas.
It's kind of another reason though to, like Glenda says, to not take it for granted the things that you do have and to really,
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Don't give energy to the things that don't light you up and that just drain your energy or that do come with, those kinds of costs.
I'd love to go over to Vicky's place. I bought most of my Christmas this year by October, and I baked candy, canned jelly, barbecue, and salsa.
There
I
you
wish
go.
I was over
Yeah. Okay. So
we gotta send her our address.
I was gonna say, so after this, we're all gonna go over to Vicky's. Vicky, we're all coming over after the podcast right now. We're gonna grab some snacks, and we're all gonna. Vicky's got a haunted house too. Yes, Vicky, is this correct? If I remember correctly.
And I see Crossover Paranormal Society's in. Vicky's here. Mark. Raymond's here. All Merry Christmas to you all, or Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas.
Happy holidays. Happy holidays.
Happy Christmas. Happy holiday.
Mark Christopher
Hanukkah,
Lawrence,
whichever
also.
one's.
Yeah.
Oh, Merry Christopher Lawrence. Hello, friend. Good for you to be here. What's up?
Ashley Ernan is here.
Happy holidays to you,
Murray
y'all.
Jackson is here, or was here. Not sure.
Hey.
Murray
Hey, Murray. Happy holidays. Happy Christmas.
Yes.
On the other side of the planet.
Yep.
We got,
So
look at all the
let me
wonderful
ask you a
folks we
question.
have joining us.
I got a question for everyone.
Okay.
What is one special thing that you always love doing when it comes to Christmas? Is there something that you guys, it's like a religion that you do every single year? Is there something that you look forward to when it comes to Christmas? Like if there's like Christmas Eve, or is it seeing somebody, or do you guys open presents the night before on Christmas Eve or the next day? What is it, something that you guys do every year for Christmas?
I do a special 5-layer dip that my kids love, and I only do it on the holidays because it takes forever to do. But
I love it.
It's basically salsa. Then you have refried beans. Then you have cream cheese. You have ground beef, cooked really good, and then you put a thick layer of Mexican cheese on top, shredded.
And
then
that sounds
There
good.
you go. Hot chocolate and game night on Christmas Eve.
There you go,
love
Ashley.
Love
I
it.
love it.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you. Let me tell you something special I do every Christmas.
I love it.
Go ahead.
And this might be a good thing for you to do with your grandkids, Glenda.
Okay.
Every year since Mason was born, I give him a ornament for Christmas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So right now he has 24 ornaments.
Nice.
So he'll get his other one this weekend when I see him. So he'll have 25. So when he's ready and he's got his own family, or he's putting up his own Christmas tree, he's going to have a full tree. He's going to have a full tree of ornaments.
Nice.
So every single year,
that are unique.
So every single year I do something with that ornament. Like one year he was into snowboarding. So I got a little frog on a snowboard. And that was his ornament. But underneath what I do is I put the year.
Okay.
So he knows what year every ornament is coming from.
Very good.
That's so fun. That's a memory lane thing you get to build on your Christmas tree.
And that's something you can start with your grandkids. Glenda.
Give them an ornament. I love that.
And let's be honest, ornaments cost what? $6, $5, depending on the ornament.
Yeah.
And
well, but that's such a thoughtful thing that you can do that personalize it, like the snowboarding thing. You know,
one year I got him a he was doing really well in school, so I got him like a person sitting at a desk working.
See, and that's kind of cute though, because then he'll look back on that like 25 years from now and be like, "Oh yeah, that's when I was in school." And I think that's really sweet.
There you go.
That'll be like a memory lane.
Yeah. It's something definitely that the kids love, especially when they're receiving that ornament. And and
Mandy's dad gives me a Matchbox car every year, and now her girls get one every year since they have been born.
It's a tradition.
So
that's the word I was looking for. Tradition.
Yes.
And that's what I do for my son every year.
Nice.
And
we used to do for my kids a Hess trucks every year.
Yeah.
We would go stand in line. Their grandfather would stand in line. Whoever would get in line and get those Hess trucks.
That's
Especially when they used to say only one. We were all like, okay, you're going here, you're going there. But haven't started anything with the grandkids. Except
You know,
There
it's
you go.
not. I
See,
don't know. It's not a
Mandy
tradition in
said the
particular.
same thing. Mandy said the
Yeah.
same thing. My aunt has done that since I was little, and now my girls too.
yeah,
It's great for when you
I
move
think
out
that's
on your
sweet.
own, and they already have a set of
for
ornaments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you
That's.
go.
I think
So
that is really cool.
yeah.
It's not
So
a
Haleigh,
tradition
what
that.
is it? Something you do? What's tradition for you?
Well, it's not a tradition, but I've only just kind of realized we do it every year anyway. My sister and I have always loved puzzles, and we just like when we're together for the holidays, we always get out a puzzle. And now my youngest sister, and so it's kind of a little sisters thing that we're all just always sitting around a puzzle, and sometimes we're quiet,
Nice.
sometimes we've got music, sometimes we're just talking silly sauce, and it just gets to be a giggle fest for no reason, and it's fantastic. So it's not a like we do it on purpose. It just always ends up happening that we get out a puzzle because we just love to
That's
sit and do
cool.
puzzles.
Cool.
That's cool.
Very cool.
Hey, listen, that's every family has something different, and if that's something that you've done every year and that brings your family closer for that moment, it's a good thing. It's a great thing.
And
I
it
love
creates memories.
Yeah.
Creates memories. That's for sure.
And it's just
Yeah.
about spending the time together. It's
Exactly.
we're not doing anything in particular. It's not anything, wild and crazy. It's just a puzzle, but we love it and we enjoy the being able to just sit and chat with each other. It's
Okay. So my next
And-
question.
Okay.
My next question.
we got to ask
What-
Matt though about his traditions.
Oh yeah,
too.
Matt's. Do you have a tradition that you enjoy?
I love to eat.
Okay, well that's a good segue because
And
my question
we
was
all
gonna
are
be,
with you.
my question was going to be, what is your favorite food on Christmas Day or Christmas Day or whenever you have your big dinner?
Okay. For
on
me,
Christmas.
Matt loves all the foods. It's hard to
yeah,
pick
so
one.
it's hard
Yeah,
to pick one.
Yeah, I do. I mean, it kind of varies. We actually did Chinese takeout last night.
Oh wow.
You know, and
I love
That's
it.
great.
Very,
That's great.
very
it was
Christmas
delicious.
movie, right?
This tonight we actually did a ham, and it actually came out pretty nice because of the way we did it.
See,
than
I'm for ham
normal, yeah.
anytime, so I'm always excited. That's
Normally
what I
I'm-
get excited about on the holidays is the meats. Is what I get excited about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not usually big into ham, but it came out really nice this time around.
Cool.
So yeah.
Cool. I just
And,
want to
I
point
love
out.
it.
I just want to point out, Vicky. Vicky put up what her tradition is.
Oh yeah.
Putting
What is
tree
her
up every
tradition?
weekend after
Tradition.
Thanksgiving. All
Yeah.
grandkids stay the
Stay.
night. They hang
And
out
then-
they hang their ornaments on the tree and have hot
Hot
chocolate
chocolate
and
and
cookies.
Oh,
That's
that's
great.
cute.
That sounds
That's great.
lovely, Vicky.
Yes.
And when do you get out the Ouija board to talk to the ghost in your house? Is what I want.
We don't take
And
out
I-
Ouija boards.
Bears
We don't take you out
Lunch
Ouija
joke.
boards. Yeah,
Glenda won't
no,
rock a Ouija
This
board.
is not the mode you're
What?
looking for.
No.
This is not the mode you're looking for.
Glenda,
Yeah.
what is your favorite? What's your
For
favorite food?
Christmas Eve, usually I have roast pork.
Roast pork.
Tamales. Yes, roast pork, tamales, and then whatever else. And for
And can I ask, you have like
Yeah.
a very sort of like the Mexican food flavored. We got some
Cuban.
the dip Cuban.
Cuban.
Okay, so that's
Cuban,
where the
Cuban,
tamales and stuff.
Yeah, and I
So-
make my tamales very different than the Mexicans do. Mine is actually corn
Mm.
and with meat all through the whole thing. Because what I do is I put the meat, I put all the spices, I cook it all. Then I put it through my Ninja, put the corn, fresh corn, by the way,
Mm.
and then blend it all, and then put it in little packages like this, and then boil them. That's how you cook them.
Cool.
I need to see pictures of these. You need to send me pictures, and I need to see what the insides of this look like. I did
Okay,
not
yeah,
know you
because I-
blended the stuff together in a Ninja.
Yeah, right. Because the Mexicans don't do it that way. They do the masa, which is a dough. Then they put the stuff right smack in the middle. Then they close
Yeah.
it up. I do it differently. Yeah. So
Cool.
I need to come to Glenda's house now too, and we will talk to the ghosts in your attic. And I am so excited about it.
hey, you don't need to Ouija board. They'll talk to you real quick. You
Yeah.
should
They'll just, they
knock on
don't
the
need, they're
door.
like,
You
we're
should
here.
knock on the door,
We're
open the
happy
door,
to chat
go
with
up,
you.
and they'll
We don't
come out of
require
the
any of
closet.
those fancy tools. No, we'll just come right out and chat with you. We're just, I mean, we hang out with Glenda all day. We don't need Ouija boards to talk to
The
you.
original
Yeah.
owner of this house was an attorney. And that's what made me buy this house, by the way, when I found out.
Is that who is in the attic? Or
Uh-huh.
That's super
One
fun.
of them.
Can we?
One of them.
So I mean, you used to do paralegal like type work.
Yes.
So I mean,
35 years.
he must be pretty jazzed to be able to have conversations with you, right?
With
Because
me,
you guys,
yeah, there's no problem. Actually, where I'm sitting right now was his office.
that's
And
so
I,
fun.
not knowing, converted it back to an office.
Well, maybe you were influenced. Maybe it was like, yeah, see, I know this was the best room to have an office in.
Mhm.
Like I planned well.
And Haleigh, what's your favorite food at Christmas?
Oh, my favorite food on I just love all the cooked meats. Like whosoever has a ham or a turkey or the pulled pork or whatever it is, like I just get excited about all the meats. We had prime rib actually because I'm from South
nice.
Dakota, and yeah, cows.
Wow.
You know, and it was delicious. So I enjoyed it quite thoroughly. I love getting some good fresh beef when I'm hanging out at home in the Dakota nowhere land. It's that's it. That's where it is. It is Dakota nowhere land. But you get the freshest meat you're gonna get, and that's nice.
Cool.
I do
Very
look forward to being able to buy either custard or eggnog around this time of year.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize how much I missed eggnog because I was avoiding it for maybe digestive reasons. But
Because it's
I've never been an eggnog
it's been good to me this year.
Yeah.
No, I love it.
I've never been an
delicious.
eggnog fan.
Yeah, that's fair.
I
I
tried
mean,
it once when I was young, and I go, it's like
Tried to get
looking
maybe
like
your
a
palate
thick.
changed.
Yeah, maybe I should try it now.
There you go.
try it
It might
again.
be
Maybe you'll
different.
like it better.
I think
Raymond says he
I
likes a
took it.
lot of food.
I think one of the reasons why is because in my family, what they used to do is they used to mix the eggnog with a liquor.
Okay.
And
Yeah, I was
when I
like
drank
that
it, it
either.
was like ew,
So-
gross, and I think
Yeah.
that's why I was immediately turned off. from
Yeah,
eggnog.
yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, if you're gonna ruin it with liquor, I mean, at
If
least
you're gonna ruin it,
at least you gotta put some bourbon in there. Avoid the rum crap.
I think it was a liqueur that they put in it. I can't recall what it was, but yeah, for me, it turned me off, and I don't
know,
think
maybe
I've had
it's-
eggnog since. And I was like 11 or 12 years old when I snuck a drink of it.
Well,
I put eggnog in my coffee just because it's thick enough to be creamer. So like I do a little.
I
like,
thought of
colored
doing
eggnog.
that. And I thought of doing that, and then I'm like, why would I ruin my eggnog by putting it in coffee? No, I love coffee. Don't get me wrong.
Okay, fine, fair enough.
I love both, but separate. Sorry.
Well, there you
Keep
go.
them separate. Okay,
You have to have-
Keep 'em
you have to
separated.
get
I gotcha.
You have to get the Borden's kind that comes in a metal can. Best eggnog.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Raymond, of course, keep the eggnog. I'll drink the liquor. Vicky
Well, there
said,
you go. Listen,
Vicky
see,
worked
now,
hard last night on KFC.
Yeah.
And
Raymond says he likes all food. All the foods.
Now, there's a particular dish that I like, and I guess this has a lot to do with my sweet tooth in a way. And it's probably something you guys have never heard of. They call it Curtis salad. It's not really a salad, but it's got like mini marshmallows in it. It's got clementines in it. It's a cream. It's got yellow in it.
Yeah.
And it's called Curtis salad. It's also got cherries in it as well.
We make something similar that it's like a pistachio salad, but it's got like
well, this isn't salad. This is an
and
actual cream.
No, it's like
a cream.
Yeah, it's got like marshmallow whip stuff in it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really
That
they call it
you're
Curtis
basically
salad.
just eating a bowl of sugar in fluffy
Basically,
form.
yeah.
Is basically,
Basically.
yeah.
Well, there is
Like
some
that
fruit in
scene
them,
from
too.
Hook when the kids are
There's a
throwing all the
couple of pieces
frosting at
of
each
fruit.
other. Yeah. Okay, well, if you
Clementine,
want to.
cherries, which are very good for you.
There you
They're
go.
very good for you. Add them into all the
There you go.
marshmallows and the sugar.
Raymond's had it. Raymond's had it.
Yeah,
There
Raymond's
you
But
go.
Raymond said earlier in the comments he likes all foods.
Yes.
He doesn't have a favorite kind. I will say I'm a
Why
big
discriminate
fan.
against food, right? You're missing
Yeah.
out if you do.
I am a big fan of turkey, and
Mhm.
I prefer the dark meat over the white meat.
Mhm.
But I find that the dark meat is a lot more tender usually, and it's a little
Mhm.
more juicier. And
That's
Yeah,
because
that's where
the
the fat is.
turkey has to be cooked with the breast down.
yes,
And then
yes.
at the
Blend it
last second, turn it right side up so then it could get brown. That's it.
Yeah.
That's
I
it.
love.
And
Now
then
what we
come
need to
out
I
do
will
is
say I
start
like
a
the
cooking
turkey.
show.
Yeah.
There you
There you
go.
go.
Let's start a
There you
cooking
go.
show, y'all.
Well, then I
We need
should
to do-
promote my book.
Oh,
Yes,
there you go.
promote your.
I
Yes,
do
you
have a
should.
book on Amazon, and it's for
Mhm.
people on the keto. It's
Mhm.
31 glorious recipes.
Mhm.
That if you're interested, but yeah, just
Go
go
check it out if you
go
like.
check
Hey,
it out
people
on
are
Amazon.
going to be doing their holiday resolution
Mhm.
things pretty soon. So Brian
Yes.
John's here to help you with some keto recipes if you're going down the keto path. There you
Now,
go.
before I know we don't have a lot of time left.
Right.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna plug this, but if you want to go over to Health Empowers You, I put up a new collection of funny quotes on mugs.
And
Coffee
let me
mugs.
tell
Coffee
you,
cups.
some of
Fun.
them,
Some of them
they're
are
right on.
hilarious. Some of them
Hilarious.
are like I put up a new one today or last night, and it's up on
I love me a
LinkedIn.
good mug. That's what I'm working on right
You
now
got
is
to go
redoing
see.
some of my old designs. I love a good funny design, so I'll go check these out for sure.
Go
I need
look
a
at them
giggle.
because they're super super funny. A lot of them. I put up one today, and I think it's really related to a lot of people in the paranormal. And that
What's it
is,
say?
and it says, "You smell like drama and a headache. Please get away from me."
You smell like drama and a headache. Please get away
Away
from me.
Yeah.
Listen, can I just get a sign to hold up that says that?
And there's
so that I
another
can
one.
just
Here's another
at
one.
any given moment, just put up a sign and be like,
There you go.
sorry.
Here's another one.
That's what
a
it is.
fun and Glenda liked this one because she made a comment on LinkedIn. A fun thing to do in the morning is not to talk to me.
Listen, so I get it. Until you've had your caffeine, sometimes you need a minute. I understand.
I never question my wife's choices because I'm one of them.
And that is valid. Remember that.
And that's why
that one I like quite a lot.
Yeah.
Or there's also that perspective. That's also valid. There you go.
There's
like, I don't know. It's kind of
here's
that,
another one.
I don't think I want to be a part of any club that would have someone like me as a member, right?
And Glenda liked this one as well.
Yeah.
A fact of life.
Mhm.
After Monday and Tuesday, even the calendar says WTF.
Now that is also valid and true.
All right, guys. I just want to.
But yeah,
we're running out of time.
Thank you for joining us, y'all, on this little holiday adventure through our stream of consciousness
There you go.
conversation.
A great rest
Cheap
of the
plug.
night.
I'm sorry. A cheap plug. Go over to Health Empowers You
our time
and
is up,
get the
Brian.
mugs.
Our time is up. We love you all. Thank you for joining us, and see you
Big
next
love,
week.
everybody.
Same time,
Bye.
same
Thank
channel. Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Night.
Best wishes,
Love
everyone.
you.